Then if we challenge Diablo into Smee, it does no damage to Smee, but we draw 2 cards. That's just as good as playing friends on the other side. NANI? Everyone's trying to find out the best aggro build of Amethyst Steel, and this one's a contender for sure because it's got this new Gantu card. The Gantu Redemption arc starts here. It costs 5 ink. But a quest for 4 lore, that's huge. Strength in numbers is overrated. I prefer my own strength. His own strength is only 4. But a quest for 4 lore. We're not using him to challenge. We're using him to quest for 4 lore. That's a huge amount. And you got to be careful with binoculars and telescopes because people are going around putting ink on the eye cups and then you put it up to your face and then you have a big old ink ring around it. So you got to be careful using binoculars, Gantu, but that's just my opinion. And then we also have Mr. Arrow. So glad that Mr. Arrow got a card. If you didn't know, Mr. Arrow was done dirty by Scroop in the movie Treasure Planet. He cut his lifeline. That was a bad deal. And that made Jimbo real sad because Jimbo was like, oh, I tied those lifelines. I wish they didn't fly away into the black hole, if you know what I'm saying. Resist +1. So this is almost a 1/3 character. Quest for 2, you play it as early as turn 2. And then if they have like a vanilla card, if they have a 1/2/2 character, this character has to be challenged twice to be taken rid of. Getting rid of, always holding steady, Captain, despite the wind and these waves. He's talking to Captain Amelia there. That's his captain. He's the first mate. Legacy's first mate. You know, the RLS Legacy from the movie Treasure Planet. And then we have a whole bunch of aggro cards. We have Maleficent. We have Magic Broom. That lets us draw a card. All 3 of these cards let us draw cards. Chernobog Followers, draw a card. When Diablo is banished, draw a card. And that pairs so well with the location, the library. And you already know that we're running all 4 libraries. It says, whenever a character is banished while here, you may draw a card. So if we move Diablo there and it gets banished, if we throw it into another character, we get to draw 2. If Chernobog's Followers quest and banish himself at library, you draw 2. You might not have known that, but now you know. White Rose is a goat for cheaper. So this is goat and this is goat for cheaper. This is us 1 lore when we play it, and we can only play it for 3 ink. That's so good. That's 1 ink less than goat. Goat costs 4, so you might get your opponent thinking like, oh, they're just going to have this amount of ink to use, and then boom, White Rose them. You get them again. You get to go. We have the Doc, lets us draw some cards. We got the Pete, make them stop doing stuff. It like they can't play any actions. You just stop. You say, hold up, wait a minute. This only has 4 fingers. Where's his 5th finger? I'll never know. Genie, how many fingers? 4. What's going on? Also 4 on this hand. What is going on? Smash. How much does Smash have? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, say it's not so. Where's all the other fingers? I don't know. This is the fairy ship. The 1/4 stat line is the same as Neverland, but here it is in an aggro build. We're going to play this together on Ink Table. This is Dreamborn.ink. If you want to play this, you can go to the description. Go here and then menu, export, Ink Table, play on Ink Table.
Things that we learned in this video: Amethyst Steel is more aggro than Amber Amethyst. That's just how it happens. Number 2, if you're not at the library, then where you at? And number 3, sometimes you don't have to play Gantu to win. And one of those times is this time. We don't play Gantu.
We are playing this against another build of the Purple Steel aggro list, and that is scary because they might be better than us. We have the Chernobogs at the library. We have the best hand in all of Lorcana right here. We get to ink a card. It's going to be Madame Snake, and then we get to play a card. Who's it going to be, Chernobogs or Diablo? It's Diablo. And then we pass the turn. Chernobogs can let us draw, but we want to draw while we're at library, if you know what I'm saying. That's going to be a turn 4 move. They play a Robbity Bobbity onto the board. We have a Snakety Wakety, though. We're going to ink the Smee, quest our bird, and then we're going to just play our snake, because if they quest their Robbity Bobbity, they're going to be in for a world of hurt, and then they won't be able to shift next turn. This deck that we're playing against has more like shift characters. It's more like Floodborn based and Blue Fairy, so we do expect to see a Blue Fairy come into play. It is a Mr. Smee, which is no fun for us because Mr. Smee can take out the snake. We can ink our Merlin, and then this turn, yeah, we could put the library out, but then it's a target. So what I think we want to do is, we could smash me. No mind if I do. Let's just smash me. Yeah. And we'll just take out this Robin Hood. They can't shift. Yeah. That's pretty good. And then we passed the turn. We were thinking that we wanted to stack some cards up to put at the library next turn, and then we could draw cards. They have friends on the other side. I don't think that this deck list had friends on the other side. They draw a whole bunch of cards. They have 6 in their hand. We only have 5 in our hand. Oh, boo-hoo. We can ink a Fox, bummer, and then play a library. And then we want to get some other cards ready to quest at library, like Chandabag's Followers. And then we can quest our snake. Boom, that's 2. We could see a rushing character next turn, like a Rafiki or something, but I don't know. They're up at 4 ink. They play a blue fairy for 2 ink and a Mr. Smee. That's a problem for us. We gain a lore with our library, and we get a Maleficent card. We are going to move Chernobox to the library. We are going to quest our Chernobox. We gain a lore, and then we are going to banish Chernobox to draw a card. That's going to draw us a card for Chernobox and a card for the library. Is it a May? It is a May trigger. That's why it asked me. We have Mr. Arrow and the Magic Broom. We can play the Magic Broom. Then we can move the Magic Broom to the library. Then you already know what's coming. We're going to play Diablo. For Diablo, we can banish the broom. When we banish the broom, we draw a card. And then we draw a card for the library being banished. 2, good. We can still ink a card and play a Maleficent, which is what I think we're going to do. We're going to sadly get rid of Mr. Arrow, just like in the anime, and play one of our Maleficents. We are going to quest our snake. That's what we did. That's 5 lore. We're good to go. And then we pass the turn. Hopefully, this Mr. Smee tries to take us out. They quest for 2, as they should. They play another blue fairy down on the board, and we couldn't be more scared. They play it in Aladdin, and they have 2 blue fairies. When they play a Floodland character, they get to gain 2 cards. They get to draw a card for each blue fairy if they play a Floodland card. Maybe too good. We get library. We also have the Fox and such. We can move Diablo to the library. Then if we challenge Diablo into Smee, it does no damage to Smee, but we draw 2 cards. That's just as good as playing friends on the other side. But now we have other stuff that we can do. We can quest our Maleficent, and then we definitely want to play our Fox here. We can play Fox, bounce Maleficent. Then we could move Maleficent to location, take this out, and draw another card. That'd be crazy. We move Fox there. We challenge the Fox into the Smee. It takes out our Fox, but we get to draw a card in the challenge. And that's almost worth it. We get to ink a card looking like it's going to be the library because we want to shut them down later. And then we can play a Maleficent, get ready to get more lore next turn. And then we pass. That's what we did. Those were the longbow combos. They play Aladdin with... It's only item, yeah. Whenever this character quests, you may banish chosen item. Yeah, it's not chosen location. That'd be too crazy. They play Mr. Smee. They have lots of bodies on board. They're going to do 1 damage to our library. Wish they wanted to have done that. We gain a lore with the library. We have our Magic the Broom. Do we want to play Magic Broom? We want to play Pete for sure. So they can't do actions next turn. Too little, too late. We want to quest Maleficent. We know that for sure. We can play the Fox. Bounce the Maleficent. We can ink the Broom. We can move the Fox to the location. And then the Fox can do the same thing that she did before and just attack. Even though that she could be very useful to bounce the Pete's, we get to draw a card with her, which is okay. And then we'll pass. I think we made a good choice, but also not. They have a Tinkerbell in play now, and that's super scary. They have 7 ink, and we have 7 ink. They do 3 damage to our library. They did not take out our library there this turn. They quest for 2, and then they do another damage to the library. They could take them out library, but they did not. They chose to take the road less traveled. We get the Fox, which if we play the Fox, we can bounce the Pete. But do we want to bounce the Pete? Or do we want to move Pete to location and take out Smee? Move Pete location. Challenge Smee. We get to take out their ability from getting more lore, and we get to draw a card. Don't mind if I do. There is Mr. Arrow. He's here. Can we flood the board with a win condition? We can get 2, 4, 6. We can get a whole lot of lore next turn. We'll play Maleficent. We'll play Maleficent. We'll play Mr. Smee. And we'll play Mr. Arrow. That's enough to win next turn if they don't take these out. That's pretty cool. If we ink Mim, we can move a Maleficent to location. So if they play like another Tink and take it out, we get to draw a card. But they most likely take out the library first. Then we'll pass the turn. We'll see what they got going on. They're 8 ink. They shift the Tinkerbell onto the other Tinkerbell. That lets them draw the card. They play an Aladdin. That lets them... Oh, and then they sing Grab Your Sword. That was what we're talking about. We get to draw a card for the banishment there. And then it does 1 damage to Mr. Arrow because he's got resist. They sing Friends on the other side with their big ol' Aladdin. And then they're going to do 1 more damage to the library. We have 3 docks and we have our win con right there. We definitely want a quest. We're questing. That's 17. They don't have a Tinkerbell to ping damage anywhere. This takes damage at the start of your turn. This is whenever a character is banished, I draw a card. So I want to move Smee there for sure. Because he's going to be banished at the start of this turn, and then I'll draw a card. And then I want to play the White Rose. That gets me a lore for free. That's 18. And then I want to play a dock. When I play dock, I can discard my hand and draw 2. Do I get something good? I get Pete, which is great. If I do Pete, then they can't play actions. They can't do songs like Grab Your Swords to clear the board. And that's what we want, right? We are going to ink library just for the posterity to play Pete. Because this can hit for 5. So they have 8 willpower there. Yeah. We're chilling. And then we pass the turn. Mr. Smee will take a damage because we don't have Cat on board. And where's our Gantu, dude? The thumbnail of this video was Gantu. When are we going to play Gantu? We get to draw a card for Mr. Smee going away. Is it Gantu? It's Doc. Too bad. They play a Robbity Bobbity. They put down a Robbity Bobbity. They shift the Robbity Bobbity. They shift Robbity Bobbity. On top of Robin. They play Genie. They get to draw a card when they play Genie. They take out Mr. Arrow. Can I get an RIP in chat? It's just like the anime. It's too much. It's too sad. All right. We are looking for Gantu. He is the namesake of this video that we made. We need to find Gantu. So our only way to do that is to challenge characters and draw cards with the library. So we are going to move Doc to the location to challenge. If we challenge Doc into Aladdin, we take 3 damage. Then we draw a card. We're looking for the Gantu. It's the fairy ship. We're going to ink the fairy ship. We are going to move the White Rose to the library. And then we are going to challenge with the White Rose into Aladdin. They'll take 3 damage. We'll take 3 damage. We'll be banished, but we'll draw a card with the library. Is it Gantu? It's Diablo. Then we are going to play the Doc. When we play Doc, we can discard our hand and draw 2. Do we get Gantu? We get Goat and Maleficent. Too bad. Too sad. Oh, we have 1 more chance. Yeah? We will move Pete to the location and challenge into Aladdin. When we challenge Aladdin, we get to draw a card. Is it Gantu? It's Fire the Cannons. You're kidding me, dude. And then we play the Goat to win the game. Thanks for watching. We put out new videos every day. I'm sorry we didn't play Gantu, but that's just sometimes how the cookie crumbles.